So UFC on ESPN 4 San Antonio, Dos Anjos versus Edwards just wrapped up last night, and we're going to do a full event recap and reaction to every single fight on the card, starting from the early prelims, ending at the main event. Let's fucking get into it. The card started off slow. The card started off very fucking slow. There were some good fights, but they were all fucking decisions, and we don't give a fuck about decisions. But Felipe Corrales, I predicted him to win, I believe. And he got the job done. Good performance. Managed to out-wrestle Domingo Pilate. Won't even talk about this dumb fight too much. Mario Batista versus Jin Soo Son. I hope they won fight of the night, because I haven't seen anything about who won fight of the night. And they should win fucking, because this was a fucking performance from both of them. Jin Soo Son has a fucking chin and a half on him, boys. He has a chin, and Mario Batista has a chin as well. And he just kept the pace up. And it looked like Jin Soo Son in the third round felt that Mexican pace, that Velasquez-esque touch. And Mario Batista got the job done, as I predicted. Ray Borg had a good fight against Gabriel Silva. It was looking bad for Ray Borg, but he stuck to it. He showed his composure, his experience. And Gabriel Silva, maybe a bit too young in the tooth. Doesn't know what it feels like to go 3 rounds with a legit opponent. But Ray Borg, struggling to beat bantamweight unranked fighters. Went 4 rounds with Demetrius Johnson. You know what I'm saying? It just shows you how the different levels of flyweight and bantamweight are. But he got the job done. I'm proud of him. I'm glad he gets to pay for his son's stuff that he's going through. I'm proud. Gabriel Silva, Ray Borg gets it done. I predicted wrong. Jennifer Maia gets it done. I predicted wrong again. Roxanne Modafferi is complete fucking shit. And so is Jennifer Maia. Okay? Roxanne Modafferi is 23-16. For a reason. She's complete shit. But just the people she's beaten that I thought was somewhat talented are also complete shit. So yeah, that means nothing. But Jennifer Maia gets the job done. Klidson Abreu dominated Sam Alvey in my opinion. Not dominated maybe, but maybe won 2 rounds to 1. Got the job done. Sam Alvey didn't seem too pleased about it. I don't know why Sam Alvey seems to think he keeps winning these fights that he's losing, because he's terrible. But yeah, he wasn't smiling after the fight, I'll tell you that much for sure. Abreu is dangerous, but, you know, he passed a good test in Sam Alvey here, because Sam Alvey's one of those guys where, are you ready for the top 15? Because if you can't beat Alvey, then you're probably not. You know what I'm saying? So Abreu gets the job done, I predicted well. That's a good fight. Raquel Pennington beats Irene Aldana. Raquel Burger nips Pennington. If you've seen the nudes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Irene Aldana got sort of... She was doing well, if I'm honest with you. But Raquel Pennington, I feel like, just did just enough to get the decision there. Irene Aldana not ready for the top of the division yet. And by top of the division, I mean the girl that's literally 10-7. Because that's women's MMA. That is women's MMA, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. Irene Aldana had more significant strikes, but it was a takedown from Pennington that secured her the win. But yeah, Irene Aldana, promising, still beating a bunch of girls. I'm sure she'll go back to beating more girls, if I'm honest with you. Raquel Pennington gets the job done. Good job. Alex Caceres versus Steven Peterson. Predicted this one right. Alex Caceres gets the job done. Close fight. Could have gone either way. I feel like it should have been a split decision if it wasn't. But if it was a split decision, that was correct. But, yeah, I feel like Alex Caceres got enough done and just completely outstrike Peterson. I think he broke his hand as well. So, yeah, Alex Caceres did a real good job. Peterson's tough, but he's shit. He just walks forward, takes a bunch of punishment, and tries to deal it out back to you. He's literally the Homer Simpson of MMA. Fuck James Vick or Justin Gaethje. Steven Peterson is the Homer Simpson of MMA. Moving on to the main card. And I did very well here, boys. How many fights were there? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6. The only fight I got wrong was the Arlovski versus Rothwell fight. I thought Rothwell was going to tag Arlovski on his chin, because we know about Arlovski's chin. But I didn't realise that Arlovski's had his chin replaced by someone. I had no idea that this surgery had taken place where Arlovski's chin had been removed and attached to someone else. And he had gotten their new fresh chin. I think he got it from Lineker, which is why Lineker pulled out of the Rob Font fight. Arlovski just took Lineker's chin and put it on his own body. I have no idea why he can all of a sudden take punches now, but Rothwell was tagging him clean in that first round, and Andre just ate it. It was a good fight as well. The crowd were getting a bit restless. I have no fucking idea why. This was a good heavyweight fight, and if you've watched any other Arlovski fight, you realise it was a good fight because Arlovski has set the standard low for some of his fights recently. Okay? They've been snooze fests. And for him to come out like this and put on a good performance on the main card, good job to Arlovski. I said if he lost this one, he should retire. But, you know, he gets the job done. Ben Rothwell, he should take on... Ben Rothwell should take on a loser. Juan Adams, Justin Willis, Derek Lewis. Whatever you want to do with that. Alexander Hernandez versus Francisco Trinaldo. Shit performance from both people, but Hernandez got the decision because when nothing is happening, the guy who's herky-jerkying around and doing all this footwork and feinting is the guy that the judges are looking at, and the guy who looks like he's winning and doing more. So, that's what happened there. I thought it could be a split decision and go either way. They gave every round to Hernandez. Maybe I'll have to rewatch the fight, but I did not see it that way. I saw it maybe going either way. Like, it could go to Trinaldo, it could go to Hernandez, but hey, the judges saw it 3 rounds. The judges saw it 3 rounds. Who am I to tell them? They're only part-time fucking burger flippers. You know what I mean? They just found on the street. Hey, do you want to judge an MMA fight? No, not really. It's good seats. Okay, cool. I'm an MMA judge. And that's how it works, apparently. But Alexander Hernandez got the job done. Good for the UFC. I'd like to see him take on the loser of Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder next. I think that'd be a good fight. Or he can take on Dan Hooker or Charles Oliveira. That's another good fight for him. He's going to move up to number 12 in the rankings now. Good for the UFC that Hernandez won. Even though it was a boring fight, he got loads of cheers from the crowd. So clearly, you know, white boy in Texas, very popular. Dan Hooker gets the job done against James Vick with a knockout in the first round. Again, predicted this one right. Luckily. Dan Hooker, of course, used to the body type of James Vick from training. Yeah, what are you talking? You're facing James Vick, 6'3" striker. I know a 6'4" elite level striker in Israel Adesanya that's currently got a belt round his waist. Whatever kind of belt it is, it's a belt round his waist. Okay? Dan Hooker's been very well prepared for James Vick. Found the finish with a Masvidal Till-esque knockout with the right hand, switch forward with the left. A lot of tall guys. And that's what you saw in Masvidal versus Till. The taller opponent often, when they overestimate their distance management sometimes, okay? And you've seen it with Holloway a few times when he got tagged by Ortega. When taller fighters move out of the way of shots, they feel like that's it, okay? They've moved out of the way of one shot, then they plant to counter because they've had that range. And they've established that range. So when you double advance on them, and you come forward with a right, then a left, the taller fighters move back once to counter, and then they get caught on the chin. You know, they're so used to getting their own way with the distance management thing. And a double advance, which Jorge Masvidal used on Darren Till, is a perfect way to negate that. And Dan Hooker obviously learned from that example and planted one straight on James Vick's chin. Put him out cold. James Vick, why are you still at fucking lightweight? You're an absolute embarrassment. Why are you still there? You've lost 3 in a row. You've been knocked out brutally twice in a row. And his judges need to be fucking killed, honestly. His judges deserve to be killed. And there's no excuse for it. Darren Till's a big welterweight that the people were asking to move up to middleweight. He's 6 feet tall. James Vick's 6 foot... I'm spitting everywhere. James Vick is 6'3". And he's a lightweight. Move up and stop embarrassing yourself. Move up and take on Diego Sanchez for a free win. There you go. Alright, retire Diego Sanchez. Make some money while you do it. 170 is a new weight class for James Vick. For sure. Or Bellator and make easy money. Who cares? Greg Hardy versus Juan Adams. They're both big, they're both black. Greg Hardy landed a big shot first because he ended up in a dominant position. Juan Adams apparently had wrestling credentials that everyone was telling me about when I picked Greg Hardy to win. You don't know about the wrestling credentials of Juan Adams. I just saw him. He dived for a single leg and got shook off and slammed to the ground by an NFL player. Credentials mean nothing in MMA. If you're big and you're athletic and you have a big fucking punch, you win. Okay? That's just how it works. And Ngannou has nowhere near the credentials of Alistair Overeem. But guess what? He's bigger, he's blacker, and he hits damn harder. So he wins. Arlovski has all... I mean, not Arlovski. Alistair Overeem has all the credentials in the world. But Ngannou... That's just how it works. If you land first and you're a big enough guy, you're going to knock the guy out. And that's just how it is. And yeah, Greg Hardy gets the job done. A lot of people were saying like, some dumb early stoppage shit. Listen, if you're sitting there taking pound after pound and you're not doing nothing. Like, fair enough if Juan Adams was maybe like posting up to the balls of his feet to try and drive through the single leg. Or maybe if he was positioning his arm further on the back to maybe try and circle out. Or if he was doing anything whatsoever rather than literally lay there and take shot after shot behind the ear. Then maybe it was an early stoppage, but I didn't see that. I saw Juan Adams give the fuck up. And the only person he should be angry with is himself because he embarrassed himself. Greg Hardy gets the job done. Yeah, good job, Greg Hardy. I'd like to see him take on Sergey Spivak next. 9-1, coming off a loss against Walter Harris, but before that he was doing quite well. Great fighter, Sergey Spivak. Good fighter. Real good fighter. 9-1, so the guys, if you're looking in, it'll look like it's a good opponent for... I know it's a good fight for Greg Hardy because he's a lot bigger, he's a lot more powerful, and it's a striking matchup as well. So Greg Hardy for sure will win that fight, but is a record of 9-1 at heavyweight. So, you know, it's going to look real. It's going to look a lot better for Hardy to beat a guy with a record like that rather than beating some schmucks. You know what I'm saying? So, give him to Sergey Spivak. Winnable fight. You want to build up Greg Hardy slowly. Because even with his history, the crowd's cheering him. Because he puts on entertaining fights and he's dangerous. Okay? And he looks the part and he talks the part as well. So, you know. Good stuff from Greg Hardy. Almost finished the video there. Either way. Olynyk versus Walter Harris. Again, predicted this one right. Walter Harris gets the KO in first round. Walter Harris opened up as the underdog and finished the fight finished on the fight week as a favourite. So whenever you see that, you should know something's up. Okay? But Walter Harris gets the job done against Olynyk. I said it about Olynyk. There's a certain time where everyone's taken a bit too much damage and the big black guy comes through and tags you with a straight left. Happened to Overeem and Ngannou, okay? Doesn't matter how good you are. This guy's a big guy. He's athletic. He's younger in the tooth. He's way more early and seasoned in his career. Gets the job done against Olynyk. Tags him with a flying knee, which landed on the armpit. A lot of people made a huge deal about the flying knee, but it kind of just sent Olynyk off balance. But then it was the left hand afterwards that really fucking rocked him. So yeah, Olynyk goes down, hits the deck. I'd like to see Olynyk, if he wants to keep fighting, maybe take on a Derek Lewis, a Justin Willis, a guy coming off a loss, wherever you want to go with that. Maybe a Juan Adams, who knows. And then we'll do a Walt Harris versus maybe... We don't want to see a Walt Harris versus Arlovsky rematch. But I don't want to rush Walt Harris. He wants to be back, he said, on the Abu Dhabi card, UFC 242 in September. Which I like the activity of these guys recently. I think it's only good for the sport to see these guys who get early finishes be way more active and get straight back in there. Dan Hooker wants to be more active and fight before the end of the year. So does Greg Hardy. So does Walt Harris. It's only good for the UFC. I don't know who you match Walt Harris up with. I don't want to say Overeem at all because I think they're going to do Overeem versus Volkov. So maybe we'll see Walt Harris take on... I have no idea. Let me know in the comment section below because I really don't have a fucking clue who I want to see Walt Harris take on. Maybe we just feed him and Rosenstrick together. I don't know. Do you want to? Let's just fucking kill someone. Yeah? Rafael dos Anjos versus Leon Edwards. Edwards outclassed him for 5 rounds. What can I say? Won every round, if not lost the second round, in my opinion. Maybe he lost the second round. So either way, it was 4 rounds to 1. I had people saying, I have it 2-2 going into the 5th. You don't know what you're looking at. Edwards was controlling the entire fight. There's a lot of shots. Those elbows, man, I swear to God, he's dangerous for anyone. And I'm not going to break down the fight too much because I think we all know what happened. RDA just kind of, you know, maybe it's time to like just look for some schmucks to beat and make a bit of cash off of. But I think RDA's days of competing in the top 5 are pretty much over now, you know. But Leon Edwards has beaten RDA and looked damn good while doing it and didn't take a fucking... He looked worse after the Masvidal loss than he did in this full 5 rounds with RDA. Okay? Fair enough, it was bare knuckle, but Jesus Christ, that takes some skill. And he called out Masvidal as well. And Masvidal said he doesn't want the fight. Listen, yeah. I know you just got really popular off of a flying knee finish. But, you're on a 2-fight win streak, okay? I don't know where this entitlement from Masvidal's come from. I honestly don't like it. I feel like it kind of holds up the division when you're saying, I'm not fighting anyone unless it's for the title or McGregor. Okay, man, but then there's Colby. Like, if Lawler beats Colby, Masvidal, you can get the title shot. That makes sense. If Colby beats Lawler, Colby's getting a title shot. And you're fighting Leon Edwards. That's what's happened right now, okay? So yeah, Masvidal, in my opinion, should take the Leon Edwards fight, but see what happens with the Lawler versus Colby fight. If Colby wins, Colby gets a title shot. If Lawler wins, then you do Masvidal versus Usman, and you do Leon Edwards versus Lawler, which are equally great fights. So, you know, good stuff. And then you do Colby Covington versus Ben Askren if Lawler wins, because they're both coming off losses. They're both in the top 10. Gonna be real good. Gonna be real good. Welterweight is the best division right now, in my opinion. It's lightweight, welterweight, and that's all it is. Great stuff. Welterweight's doing bits. Great performance from everyone on the card. Especially the main card, especially delivered. The main event got a bit of stick for being a bit boring, but listen, there's a reason why none of the other guys on the card are in the top 5. You know? When you're in the 5 to 15 or the 15 to unranked range, you're going to get knockouts, okay? And that's what's going to happen when you're big guys at heavyweight, 2 heavyweights in a row, both unranked or both barely ranked. You're going to get knockouts. But when you get into the top 5, that's when you start seeing more and more decisions, because these guys have perfected their craft to be able to avoid damage, not get caught, but also deal damage, but not overextend. So it's like a perfect balance where often you're not going to get a lot of finishes. So yeah, Edwards gets the job done. Another decision win. That's 8 in a row. Second longest in the division behind Usman. And goddamn, I'd like to see Edwards versus Usman. Not next. I'd like to see him face Masvidal or Lawler first, depending on how things go. But Edwards versus Usman's an interesting fight now, especially with the grappling skills he's shown against Ghana and Dos Anjos back-to-back. 27 years old, getting better every day. Good stuff from Leon Edwards. Thanks for watching. Click that button there. Oh yeah, Pacquiao beat Furman, even though Furman outlanded him, because boxing! It's boxing. But yeah, Pacquiao dropped him, so fair enough. 10-8 the first round, I get it. Good job, Pacquiao gets the job done. He's definitely going to get mayor of the Philippines, or wherever the fuck he's from. He wants to run for president of the Philippines. With a win like that, that's going to help his votes. So yeah, the guy who can't even fucking read is going to be running the Philippines. And people thought Trump being president was bad. You're talking about no experience. This guy gets hit in the head for a living, and he's going to run your fucking country. Huh? See you later. Goodbye.